صحة شريبتكم. I'm very humbled to be here today. Thank you for the invitation. So I'm going to talk about institutions today. Institutions could be university, hospital, business, restaurant. Any institution has a business model, which basically means how money comes in and goes out. The business model has a spectrum. So there are some institutions that are more on the social value end, and other institutions are on the financial value end. For example, a traditional business is focused on maximizing profit, and it's a relationship between buyer and seller, and their focus is creating financial value. On the other end of the spectrum, we have associations. They are not for profit, and they're focused on maximizing social value. So it's a relationship of giver and taker. And then there is something in the middle, a social enterprise. A social enterprise is a business which has to respect the business strategies of the sector it's in, but it also has a social mission. It does not compensate people, planet, and community for profit. So the associations, they create important social development. The businesses create important economic development. And social enterprises in the middle, they try to create socio-economic development to create more balance between the social and the economic. Is this a new concept? No, it's not. Our history is full of social innovators, even before the word social enterprise came to exist. In the very past, there were people who created business models that created profitable businesses that supported, maintained, and built mosques and shrines. Mosques and shrines in the past did not only have religious purpose. A mosque was also a university and a school. A shrine did not only have religious purpose, it was also a shelter for the migrants, for the needy, for women, and it provided food and temporary home. So it had a social purpose, and it needed a business to keep it going, to keep it maintained. A lot of historians are writing about our social innovators in our history, but they're focused on the historical and the religious aspects. And I wish that we would look at it in a different, and try to put it on the spectrum of the business model. The mother of social entrepreneurship, in my opinion, is Aziza Othmana. You probably only know her as the name of a hospital in Qasba. But she was a wealthy princess. She had a lot of land, and she built a hospital for the mentally ill, and tried to cure them using music in a very innovative way. And she also donated zlebia and bread to the needy during Ramadan. She also used her profits to maintain shrines, hospitals, and she donated money to buy oil for the lamps to keep the public space light. You might think she's rich. It's normal that she can do all this. Can you name 3 rich people that are concerned about the needy don't have zlebia in Ramadan? Okay, just one. So it would be interesting to rethink of all these business models and how they kept the community, they kept social harmony. They tried to decrease the gap between rich and poor. Do we have such examples today? Also today, Tunisia is full of social entrepreneurs. I'm going to give an example of the 2 I know the most. The first is a boutique hotel called Dar Ben Ghasem. It's a historical building that was restored, But then in the Medina of Tunis, you probably know, there's a lot of buildings that need to be restored. So we use all of our profits to try and restore more buildings. We also hire only people from the community, and we try to help as many as possible of them who dropped out of school. If they wish to go back to school, we try to help them to go back to school. We're also, because we want to create shared economy with all the micro businesses around us, we try to create experiences for our guests through the small businesses around us to help them sustain their businesses. So we've been in business since 2013. We have received 68 nationalities. Maybe the Medina does not have a museum or a lot of exciting places to visit, but there's a lot of artisans hidden in corners, and they're struggling to keep their arts and crafts. And we try to promote them to our guests, so our guests can spend 2 hours with a calligrapher or a morning with a balghaji. And that way, we help the artisan sell a service, not just a product, and sustain their workshops. Through doing that, we became an ecosystem of micro-businesses, and we realized that together we can be stronger. And that's how we created Mdinti. Mdinti is also another social enterprise. Mdinti is like a cooperative. We are a union of 26 micro-businesses and 7 NGOs. All of us are based in the Medina of Tunis, and together we think we can be an economic lobby that defends the urban positive transformation, but also we try to work together to create experiences and improve the economic dynamic to improve the resilience of our tangible and intangible heritage. So it's a profit-making business. We sell services. We have to create a business model that is resilient, but at the same time, at the core of Mdinti, the purpose is the urban resilience of the Medina of Tunis to improve its socio-economic dynamic and make it impactful for the inhabitants and attract visitors, investors, and people who will be interested to live and experience it. Through my work in heritage in the last almost 20 years, I've learned 3 main lessons. The first is who's reviving who? Whenever people talk about the Medina or historical buildings or arts and crafts, they say we have to revive it. But in my experience, our heritage revives us. It makes us have roots and gives us more hope for our future. So we need to be humble when we talk about heritage. The second learning is we're just passers-by in history. When you look at historical building, you realize that we just take what we found and we try to make it as best as we can to hand it on to people who come after us. Finally, what legacy do we want to leave behind? As we work with heritage, we discover legacies of people, and this is something that all of us need to think about. What legacy do we want to leave behind? And thank you.